Good afternoon, Recon here with Techout. Today I'm going to be doing my 1 week review of the Surface Go. I've had this device for a little over a week now. I bought this on a Thursday, so it's been about a week and 4 days. And I've been loving this device. This is the $399 base model that is 4 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage, which turns out, for what I'm using it for, is plenty. Right now we have about 40 gigabytes, 41 gigabytes free of storage. So no space issues really right now, and I'm not loading a whole bunch of apps onto this thing. I'm not using it for anything kind of crazy like that. You have to keep in mind that this is a Pentium Gold powered device, and it's not going to be running some heavier apps. And a lot of people have commented asking why I'm using Chrome on it in my previous videos, and the main reason for that is that it has been working pretty well. Let me close these blinds real quick so there's not so much of a glare. Sorry about that. That really didn't help, but it is almost noon, or just past noon, so there's a huge glare from the window right there. But so far the device has been running flawlessly. Chrome does not run that bad on this device. I can load up YouTube here pretty quickly, and I haven't had any issues or anything like that with it. So for what I'm using it for, it's working really well. I can scroll through videos. There is a slight lag, and really that's not necessarily the lag of the surface itself. That is more the screen and it catching things when you're dragging it. I've used this with a mouse temporarily, and it scrolls a little bit smoother. There still is quite a bit of, not quite a bit, but a little bit of lag, but not a huge issue. Something I would expect from a $399 device, and I would much rather use Chrome over Edge, since Chrome does sync all my all my bookmarks and everything like that between my desktop and my other laptop. So that's one of the main reasons I am using Chrome. Again, haven't had any issues with it. I can play YouTube videos, I can monitor my streams, and do everything that I do with Chrome just fine, and I haven't had an issue. And it's not a bad user experience in my opinion. Some other stuff I do is I run Discord on here, so I'll keep up with Discord chats while I'm playing games. TeamViewer 13, if any of my friends need help with their computer, or I need to remote into my own computer, I have that on there. Basically the gist of what I'm doing with it, and I also use the default Windows Mail application to check emails and reply to emails and stuff like that. Now, I haven't picked up the type cover for it, the Microsoft type cover, but I did get a Bluetooth keyboard for review that I've been using with this, and that paired with it fine. Bluetooth works well, no issues there. So I was able to pair a Bluetooth keyboard with it and use it that way, which makes typing a lot easier. I found with the keyboard, when you type, let's see if I can get the... Yeah, so I have the floating keyboard, so I changed it to that because I found when you type, the keyboard will cover your text box. Like if you're on a website and the text box is on the bottom of the screen, the keyboard will pop up, but it won't automatically scroll the page up so you can still see what you're typing. And I found that a lot in like Discord and stuff like that as well. The text box on the bottom will get covered by the keyboard. So with this, I'm able to move the keyboard around the screen, so I can still see what I'm typing. If that way if you make a mistake, you don't finish typing your whole sentence and have to go back and edit it with the keyboard, blocking it, because that's kind of hard. So that's the only issue with the on-screen keyboard I've really had. It's not hard to type, it's just that the keyboard gets in the way. On iOS, things usually move around based on where the keyboard, when the keyboard pops up, that way you can still see what you're typing, or the text box will go above the keyboard. So I wish Windows would do something like that. Maybe they would update it so it's a little bit more user-friendly on tablets and stuff like that with on-screen keyboards. But other than that, the performance of the device has been just fine. There were a few updates for it right out of the box, but there have been no major updates since then. Just Windows Defender updates and some minor Windows updates. But really, everything else has been running flawlessly. Battery life, pretty good. I've been able to leave it unplugged for about 2 or 3 days with light usage each day. If I'm plugging, if I'm monitoring a stream or something like that, or watching YouTube videos, I usually plug it in. I have set it so when it goes to sleep, it does not fully turn off. It did have a setting in there where after like 300 some minutes, I think it was set to, it would basically shut down. So when you went to use it after like overnight, of not using it, you'd have to turn it back on, which wasn't a big deal, but I went ahead and turned that off, so it just goes to sleep and wakes up right to the Windows Hello, which also performs great, and goes right into the desktop. Another thing people have been telling me is that you're supposed to use it in tablet mode. And, that's fine. You can use it in tablet mode like this if you want to, but I prefer having all my apps right on the desktop. and everything like that. And I hate when people tell me how I'm supposed to use something. Obviously, you can use it however you want. There's tablet mode, and then there's a option to turn tablet mode off, which is how it is set by default, because Microsoft doesn't tend to use this, like the Surface Pro is more of a laptop. If you pair a keyboard with this, you have a keyboard and a mouse and everything like that. It's going to be better in desktop mode. So that's that. Overall, do I think it's worth $399? I would say yes, but it has to be for the right person. You can't pay $399 for this device and expect to be running Premiere Pro or gaming or doing heavy apps like that. It's not built for that. But if you're the kind of user who's going to buy this to use it what it's intended for and what it was built for, then I think you're going to have a great experience on it, and it's definitely worth the $399 price tag. This has been Colin with Techout. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments section below. And as always, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and have a great day.